know what? You know what? Sean, he's told me, he said, hey, I really don't like you, and I don't want you to come back for the show anymore. So I took that to heart for a long time, and I thought, no, what? The viewers deserve me. Kokomo deserves me. So
I don't know if... I don't know if you know what they deserve.
I know it's hard to put your feelings in words.
County jail to cheer.
Yeah. Oh, man. Cell block A, or however they're divided.
I don't know how they, I don't know, but I'm back. So.
Yeah. Mike Harrison, everybody.
Hey, welcome to GeekStorm.
It is.
GeekStorm, episode 199.
I think that's right.
199. That's almost 200.
It is. It's very close to it.
So close. I can't wait to see what Mike Dukes, our producer, has come up with.
We might actually have one whole viewer left by the time we hit 200.
Wow, that'd be all right. That'd be all right.
Mike's here now, so he's not watching.
No, he's Nick knows about the jail community. We gotta count them.
Yeah, it's like we need to get like a Nelson. Can we get a Nelson reading from the jail?
They're like a captive audience.
Does Nelson still send out the things, the little boxes?
I don't know. But
I also hear we're the retirement community very large.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because it plays on the.
Okay.
They just set the TVs to it in the rooms and stuff. So
that's cool. I'll take it.
So I mean,
we'll take whatever we can get.
Yeah, if you walk through there,
right.
You just recognize left and right.
Right. We're gonna stick around longer than Supernatural. That's my goal.
Oh, wow.
That's my goal.
That is a lofty goal.
I know.
Because I don't know if that show will ever end.
It probably won't. It probably won't until one of them actually dies, and actually dies, like a person, the actor.
The actor. And even then, they'll just be like, and he was reincarnated into.
Right, now he looks like,
it'd be like
somebody from CW.
I feel like it'll be a show like that ends up like Doctor Who maybe, where like, it's off the air for 20 years and all of a sudden like, reboot it!
Everything
like,
gets rebooted.
Yeah, everything.
This show
Especially right now, everything.
I know. Hey, we're filming live, as we always do, because that's the only way you can film something, in the beautiful heart of beautiful downtown Kokomo. We're at Kokomo Toys.
I think you had to turn around.
Yeah.
You haven't done this in so long, you forgot where we were.
I know. I was lucky to get here, to be honest. Two doors down from Comics Cube. I almost said it. From Comics Cube. Greatest comic store on this block.
What's happening at Comics Cube this weekend?
I'll tell you what's happening. It's not just happening this weekend. It's not just happening today here in Kokomo. It's worldwide.
Worldwide?
It's Star Wars Day.
Oh.
It's May the 4th.
May the 4th.
May the 4th.
May the 4th.
May the 4th. Go ahead and say it.
Yeah. May
say
the 4th be with you.
Oh, there you go.
So,
see? Star Wars Day is awesome.
First Friday, I believe it's tonight.
It is.
If you're watching this and he doesn't have it up by this afternoon,
No,
then
that'll never happen.
I
hope you enjoyed First Friday.
First Friday, hope you had a blast. There's lots of events going on.
Did you have fun?
Welcome downtown.
You had. I'm positive you had fun getting autographs with some pictures with some Star Wars characters that are going to be here.
Like who's going to be here?
I don't know.
Oh.
I can look. Actually, when you get on a ramble, I will look and tell you who's going to be here.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
It's going to be a big deal.
It would be fun.
So,
what else is coming up? I think there's another comic thing coming up.
Free Comic Book Day.
That's the thing.
Free
Comic
Comic Book Day. Is that where you were going?
That's where I was going.
Oh.
Free Comic Book Day is coming up. So if you like comics,
things that are free,
yeah,
and you like comic books, you should come to Free Comic Book Day.
You should.
It's like a day they made for you.
Yeah, it really is.
Every year, Sean has a line down to the corner, around the block, giving away free stuff. That's what he does, gives it away. So get here early so you can get in line. The sooner you get in line, the more chances are that you'll get the good stuff, the free stuff.
There is only so much of the free stuff.
Right.
Like
it's not like they're saying, okay, everything on this wall is free, or everything is, it's not free day.
Yeah, you just don't walk around, just pillage and take
to the best of my knowledge, you're only allowed to walk out of there for free with things that say Free Comic Book Day on.
I believe that is true.
You can't just go in and say, oh.
If you're watching this in someplace else, check out your local comic book store.
They probably do it too.
They probably do. I imagine probably everybody does.
It's a national thing.
Yeah. So what have you been doing? You've been gone for so long. What's on your mind? What things haven't been covered?
Oh my gosh. Number one, it's painful for me to sit and watch this show and not participate.
It's painful for a lot of people, I think.
Just all the mistakes, all the mispronunciations, all the
and no one here to correct any of us.
Right. But I'm like
Philistines.
I
have
returned. By the grace of Thanos, I am here, and hopefully things will get better. I just hope things will get better.
So were you just like sitting on the farm, like looking at the sunset? Was that what you were doing?
That's exactly what I was doing. There's an alien. There's two moons, a couple of stars over here, and
it's nice.
It was nice.
Relaxing, de-stress.
Like that.
Oh.
And then everything was good.
So weight lifted.
It was. Obviously, the biggest story around right now is Avengers. We'll talk about that.
What's that? I don't know what that is.
We'll hit a couple smaller things first, though, so we can really dive in with Avengers.
Okay. What else? What do you got to launch?
Well, how about Cobra Kai? Have you checked that out?
Oh, I know it launched the other day on YouTube. I didn't get the chance to see it though, but the true story, going for the actual hero of the Karate Kid.
Right. Number one, thanks for being prepared.
Yeah.
So Cobra Kai is on Netflix. No, I'm sorry. It's on YouTube Red, which is a pay service. I don't know how much that costs. Does anybody know how much that costs? I'm getting ready to tell you I watched these episodes. But I have no
well,
idea
you know what?
how
I
much
actually have YouTube Red, which is why it's probably advertised it and auto-started that show 6 times for me the other day.
Okay.
Everything I watched on YouTube, it auto-started Cobra Kai.
It's a season. It is 10 30-minute episodes. We watched. My wife
So
and I watched.
it's like TV then.
Yes,
Oh.
it's TV. It's not a movie.
Not a movie.
Not a movie.
Not
a movie. But they do insert clips from the old Karate Kid in there, so they got the rights to that somehow. I don't know how.
Imagine how they get the rights to it to even make the Cobra Kai.
I would assume they would have to have that, but you never know. Things get What if the guy running the tournament what if the guy running the All Valley tournament, that actor didn't want, his image used. You never know what the contracts and Weinstein. I don't want to get into it. So Netflix. No, not twice. I did that.
Okay. It's not Netflix.
It's YouTube.
It's YouTube.
It's YouTube Red. We watched the first 2 episodes. They were very good. Pretty high production value. The guys look pretty cool. I don't know if it was just the format I was watching. There was a lot of dubbing, a lot of what do they call that when they go back and put the voiceovers? ANR and ADR.
Yeah.
Additional dialogue recording. Sure.
I just thought it was dubbing. Voiceover.
Seemed to be a lot of that, but
So it's more like the old Godzilla films, like their mouths don't match up. Or
sometimes.
Was it your connection maybe?
sometimes it could have been. That's what I said. It could have been.
That happens when it gets out of sync sometimes.
Basically, it more. I would say 70% of it, you're following Johnny, okay, the perennial bad guy from the 80s, and he is down and out. He's stuck. He listens to that music and he drives that car and he has a crappy job, just not doing well. And he's constantly flashing back to that All Valley tournament and the day things went in the crapper for him. And he's driving and he sees what he's probably seen for the 1000th time is a LaRusso auto dealership sign where he's doing really well. Daniel LaRusso is doing well for himself.
It just cracks me up that he's the auto dealership owner. That was the pinnacle of his life. He won that tournament. His life was on track. I own all of the tri-state areas auto dealership.
I don't think the prize for
big
the
in
All
Honda,
Valley tournament
did he?
was an auto dealership. I think he probably worked for that
I
throughout
don't
his
know,
life.
but that just life
The point is,
goal.
things went well for Daniel. Things
Okay.
did not go well for
I'd
Johnny.
say that's debatable. But
Call it
all
car.
right.
Well, he drives a nice car, has a pretty wife, has kids, has money. He's got his memories of Mr. Miyagi. He's got it all. He's got it all.
Okay.
Everything that Johnny doesn't have, for sure.
Memories? Does he have memories? Does he have Alzheimer's in it? That's a real tragic story then.
It is. And it just follows that storyline of the have not, and kind of a mirror of the movie in that Johnny finds this kid who's getting beat up and who's getting bullied and whatnot, and decides to open his dojo. But he's not Miyagi, nice guy. He's Cobra Kai, right? So he opens a Cobra Kai dojo and he starts the whole thing up again. Now that actor that played his sensei has passed away, and obviously Mr. Miyagi's passed away. But he pretty much falls into step as far as that guy goes.
His name wasn't Mr. Miyagi in like real life.
I know.
Oh, okay.
Well, he died.
It is true.
You know his name?
No.
Pat Morita.
Pat
Be
Morita?
quiet.
We could have used his name at any point.
I was in the flow.
All right. Okay.
So anyway, we've seen the first 2 episodes, and it's pretty good. We're both interested in watching it, and you should too. However you find it, whether you find it on YouTube Red or Netflix.
So I don't know if they had plans, or Netflix. If you found Netflix, real impressive.
Right.
I don't know if they had plans on that. I thought they were going to let the first 2 episodes also be free on YouTube, or at least the first one.
Oh, they may have.
Be free without Red. I think you had to have Red. I could be wrong, but I thought that's what they had originally announced, is to try to get you hooked. Like, hey, the first one's free. You have to pay for the rest of the series. So, but yeah, YouTube Red would pay. YouTube Red though, it's a service I actually have. So
We enjoyed it. It's fun. Check it out. You guys should check it out. I think you'll enjoy it. That's our show.
That's our show. Oh, cool. Thanks for joining us.
One other little thing, unless you have anything. Hasbro
Oh, yeah.
bought from Saban Entertainment the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
They did.
Is that a big deal? Not huge. To me, the big deal was how much they paid for it. $522 million.
So I don't remember, how well did that movie do?
I don't know. It wasn't a horrible movie.
Yeah, it's like I don't think it flopped, but I also don't remember it being like.
It was better than it was better than any Transformers movie I saw.
I actually didn't see it. So Power Rangers was after my childhood.
Me too.
So like,
Me too.
I remember like I'd be able to turn on the TV and I've seen episodes, and then I recently have watched, because I have smaller children now. Power Rangers Dino something. Dino
Force?
Dino Force?
Dino
Dino Charge?
Force.
I don't know. I know I watched it in the entire weekend, almost all of the Dino Force series.
Wow. Good for you.
Yeah.
You're a good parent.
My children ran around and jumped off of things and ninja'd it
geez.
up. But even that I know was even an old, that's an old series at this point.
Yes.
I guess there's been, because I randomly look up stuff when I'm watching still with my children. I think there's been like 8 or 9
different seasons.
Well, not just seasons, but different
iterations.
Iterations of the Power Rangers. And somehow they all tie together because they're all in one scene. I don't know.
At the time it really exploded here in the U.S., I worked at Service Merchandise, and we'd see all these toys come in, these giant Zords they were called, and the figures and all the bigger, and people were just going crazy over this stuff. I mean, it was like worse than Cabbage Patch dolls and stuff. It was a big deal.
I do remember that.
Doesn't sound like a big deal now, but Hasbro was definitely.
It was one of the biggest toys at the time.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of that. I think at that time, like where you could go out and you bought a big toy. Most of it was like action figures and maybe like the G.I. Joe's bigger things.
Right.
But
there was no Shogun Warriors.
Yeah.
There was no Mazinga.
Yeah. Not without. Well, you couldn't even really it was really hard to special order stuff because that was really before.
Yes.
Amazon and eBay, and
Barely.
you can just buy whatever the hell you wanted.
I refer to those as the dark times.
The dark times.
Let me tell you why. I've told this story before, I'm not going to tell it again, but I bought a computer and I sold something near and dear to me, and I should not have sold it to get that stupid computer.
Just tell the story.
Yeah. Now, Cliff, I don't think I've heard the story. I can tell you about the time that we have a mutual friend that you may not know lived in Alaska.
At the time, I worked at Service Merchandise, and so after hours or even during hours, there was a row of computers, okay? And they had, somebody had put Doom on one of the computers. And this was all very not pre-internet, but definitely pre-high speed. It was all dial-up and whatnot. But apparently there's a way, this is me back then, there's a way I can play Doom at home with somebody else across town. Somebody, and we're in the same place.
What kind of witchcraft is that?
We're in the same place, Nick.
Witchcraft.
We're on the same board, playing the same dungeon, whatever, and we had to play together. But I gotta buy a computer.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta buy a computer, right? So I sold my X-Men #1 for like $1,400, $1,600, something like that. Little did I know, Nick, that computers, they don't last forever. They aren't going to grow exponentially every 6 months where the next week something awesome comes out. And and back in those days too, AOL, you were paying by the minute for internet access. That was dumb. What I did was dumb.
It also depreciates in value quite quickly.
Unlike the X-Men #1. No, it wasn't like a mint or anything, but it was a good copy, okay? I really wish I had it.
I'm sorry, Mike.
I'm in a funk now.
Sorry. Well, speaking about old things, if you play board games, Retro Games is bringing back a classic old board game, Fireball Island.
I'm doing the thing I said I was going to do when you told
me. Okay, yeah. So Fireball Island, if you remember, was at the time I think one of the largest board games. I own it. I own a copy thanks to Sean Hilton because it was from my childhood, but. Sean got that for me as a Christmas present.
Does it have a time machine?
Found it. Yeah, it's a really hard game to get, the original one, but it's a box about this big. It's a whole vacuum formed board. It was a great memory from my childhood. It was a good board game. And Retro Games, they pull the internet and see what games that they should make and everything. And Fireball Island was hands down one of the #1 requested ones. So they decided that this time they were going to make it. They figured it out. They just had a very successful Kickstarter, just under $3 million. I think $2,800,000 is what they wound up making. And so that game will be re-released. I imagine it took quite a bit to get that from Mattel, because Mattel's the ones that own that. If you remember the movie Big, that game was featured heavily in the backgrounds, almost every scene, if you look around the toy store. Because it was Big came out, I think, like in October, and that game was releasing in November for the holiday season. So like, a lot of people used Big, but like as like, hey, we're going to use this as our Christmas catalog. Put a bunch of stuff in the background that kids will just subliminally see and then really want. So I think it's what happened to me because I wanted it and I got it. It was a great game. So that's being released and be very cool.
On a related note, my math teacher in high school's name was Mr. Fireball.
Really?
Yes, it was.
Huh. That's kind of related.
Hey, if you show up First Friday, or hey, while you were at First Friday, you probably saw a Vader.
Ooh.
You probably saw a clone trooper.
Oh.
You probably saw a rebel pilot. And you probably saw a female trooper, female stormtrooper.
So make sure you check those off your bingo list.
Yeah.
And then maybe you get a bingo.
There you go.
If you fill up your bingo card, make sure you take it to Sean Hilton and have him stamp it.
You can't triple stamp a double stamp.
Yeah, you can.
Okay, let's talk about, and let's, Mike, put a big spoiler thing. Okay, we're gonna talk spoilers here. Okay.
Spoilers.
Wah, 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 okay, and then make it gradient out like Thanos killed him.
And if you haven't seen Infinity War, spoilers.
You don't have to say it every time.
Then what's wrong with you?
Yeah. If you haven't
Why?
seen it, okay, we're 8 days in now. If
Yeah.
you haven't seen it, you don't care, you don't like good things, and you should probably go see it today.
Yeah.
You should probably stop watching this.
You need to at least be a part of the pop
Right.
culture.
Right. And if you haven't seen it because you're incarcerated, you're about to hear spoilers.
Sorry.
That's
So
right. Grab some toilet paper, get it wet, and stick it in your ears. I can't really help you.
sorry.
So, Avengers, Infinity War, the 19th movie, 10 years in the making. It all started off with Jon Favreau, Robert Downey Jr., and has built and built and built to this point. I would say of the 18 previous movies, I don't know, probably 10 or 12 of them had something Infinity related
Yeah.
in them.
Yeah. I mean, everybody should know at this point that they're all interwoven.
Right.
But like, yeah, there's definitely each one. I'd say probably about 10 of them probably had at least a direct something connecting Infinity.
Right.
Maybe you didn't know it at the time that movie's released, but as other ones came back, going back, you realized that hey, that was a Infinity thing.
Yeah. And this is all thanks to the genius of Kevin Feige. He has helmed this ship from the very beginning. He has made sure everything. Here's the thing that is most amazing to me is he's able to get top shelf talent to come in and tell his story. Okay.
Yeah.
The story that he wants to get to, that he wanted to get to this last weekend, that he's been working on the entire time. So many directors and writers, they don't necessarily want to come in and tell their story. They want to tell their story, or they put their spin on it, and things like that. Well, this is Kevin Feige's show, and it's his universe, and it's a big deal for him to be able to collect the people he's collected to get this done. How many Oscar winners? How many nominees?
I think a big part of that though was Robert Downey Jr. When that first Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr. at that time was not like as big as he is now.
Right.
I mean, he had a big peak and then he had a big fall, and I think that was really the comeback. He was the right person, the right time, the right pick.
Yeah.
And because of how well
character.
right character. Because of what he did.
He's got like a 28 charisma.
Yeah.
Okay?
Like.
There's nothing you can't do anything about.
Yep. So I think that relaunched his career, and definitely launched the Marvel Cinematic, and was, I think, the reason that he was able to then get, because I think if you would have tried to start out getting some of the people that wound up being in the Marvel Cinematic, I think, like, hey, come do this movie, it's a superhero thing. I'm like, no, I'm not doing a superhero thing. That's not going to work.
No.
So.
Yeah, they made it a big deal. So just quick numbers, best all-time domestic opening, best all-time worldwide opening, and we haven't opened in China yet.
Yeah, that's the big thing people keep saying. It hasn't opened in China and that it's done this well without that. I think we were told it opens in China. I think the May 11th. I think that's what we said. I think it's next weekend. This weekend.
As of this taping, it's already over $800 million.
Yeah, which I mean.
Many movies didn't make that much.
Yeah, I got to figure China's probably going to at least add on a little bit.
Sure.
There's going to be like 12 people in there that go see it. Oh, not big into it.
Yeah. And one interesting thing before we actually get into the meat and potatoes of it, it didn't have as high a score as, say, Black Panther on Rotten Tomatoes, if you follow that type of thing. And I don't necessarily follow a lot of reviewers, but there's one reviewer from the New Yorker is getting a lot of flack. Not because he didn't like the movie. Not everybody likes the movie. That's fine. Yeah. The reasons he said he didn't like the movie were Well, the characters didn't have any introduction. They came on screen and started doing what they're doing, and you didn't really get to build up to anything. And that's what we've been doing for 10 years. Okay, that's like showing up. It's like showing up to the end of the season finale or the series finale of Breaking Bad. Going, I don't know this Walt guy. I don't know what he's doing with the blue stuff. I don't understand.
Yeah,
okay, everybody in the world, everybody on the planet that watches movies or even doesn't knows that this has been a giant world building.
I mean,
thing.
even if you but do it in the terms of the Avenger movies. It's not the first Avenger movie.
That's true.
So you're going in seeing movie 3 of even if you just look at it in that sense.
Right.
So yeah, you don't introduce like all the characters again every time the movie in a series starts.
I feel like here's again a big problem with the internet. I feel like the New Yorker should be doing articles on wine tasting and the Hamptons and things like that.
What's going on in Hamptons?
Well, nothing.
Oh, okay.
There's not a movie theater there.
There's not? All right.
They should stay away from movies and entertainment stuff. Same with Forbes and all these other what's some of those business journals that do that, and they'll come in.
Bloomberg.
And they just ruin it. They ruin it in the title of their review. They ruin something, and they've got a business doing that.
Yeah.
Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. That's all I got.
Do what you're good at.
Let's talk about the movie.
Hey, spoilers.
Talk about the movie. Big spoilers. I liked it. It was good.
I really want. In my mind, I picture stamps of spoilers as every time we like to say spoilers.
Yeah.
I very, very much enjoyed it. The theater I was in, there was several times applause and cheering, and then you could definitely tell that there were people like movie. There's the Marvel movie people, and then there's the Marvel comic movie people.
Right.
You could definitely tell in my theater that there were several people that were completely caught off guard in several parts of this movie because they didn't know anything about Infinity War or any of the iterations of it. So you saw I heard a few people were just like minds blown of some of the things. I don't think really anything, to me at least, nothing mind blowing. I like completely didn't see anything. Like I wasn't completely surprised by anything.
Okay.
Like. After it happened, like I was surprised in the moment of it happening. Like, oh man, I can't believe they did that. But like after the fact, it wasn't like, oh, I can't, like, couldn't put it together that would have ever happened.
Sometimes we suffer from our own fandom, knowing that there's a 4 that's already been filmed, and knowing that because of just the very nature of the Infinity Gauntlet and those stones, anything that happens could be fixed or changed back or whatever. That does take away some of the dread you might feel when a beloved character gets killed. All right. So Loki dying in the first 10 minutes was a big deal.
Yeah. I think that was the bigger thing, the order and then when different things. That was more surprising to me, I think, than kind of the ending lineup was a little. I was like, oh crap.
Yeah.
So what was the biggest, I guess, surprise, not surprise when you thought about it, but
definitely the biggest out of the blue surprise was Red Skull.
I have to agree. I never saw that. Like I would have never
talking.
guessed.
He's got the cloak over his face, and I go, I know that voice. I know that voice. Well, who is that? And at the time, I wasn't even thinking that it would be an established character that we already knew. I'm listening to the voice, and in my mind, I'm going back through the.
I saw the ethereal floating, like space ethereal character, like floaty.
I honestly I wasn't trying to think of a character. I was focused on the voice.
Yeah, I almost thought was it maybe it's Death. Because I thought maybe they would. Death traditionally in the Marvel Universe is a girl. Right. But I was like, well, maybe they changed it up. I was like, because I thought maybe I was like, because we're going after the Soul Stone. I thought maybe, but then that kind of pullback reveal. I'm like, oh, hey. Yeah. Which at the time I also thought it was Hugo Weaving, which it actually wasn't Hugo Weaving.
Nope. The face wasn't Hugo.
No, the voice or voice.
What?
Yeah. Do your research.
You're the guy on Walking Dead and do all the impressions.
Yeah.
It's that guy. Yeah.
Russ Marquand.
Yeah. He's the one that did it.
No kidding.
Yeah. It was not. Yeah.
Why?
Hugo Weaving said in many interviews that he's not mad about having done the Red Skull, but he's still apparently contractually obligated that if they asked him to, he has to do, I think, 3 more movies. But they've never asked him to, and everybody kind of knows how he really didn't like that process because I think he had to get up. It's like 6 to 8 hours of makeup in the morning, then 8 to 10 hours of filming, and then 3 hours to remove it. Wow. He's like, it was a grueling process. He truly doesn't want to actually. I think
It surprised
that's
me
part
he
really.
didn't come back for a cameo though.
Yeah, no, that was not him.
Okay. Well,
So I think that was the other big thing is like all of the theories going around of where the Soul Stone was. I don't know if anybody pegged like that. Like I think we're pretty sure that
Oh, no.
everybody was wrong.
yes.
Everybody.
You would just think because you know where all the others are that they're going to pull a thing where here it's been here the entire time.
Yeah.
And you've seen it 1,000 times, that type of thing. No, I don't think anybody suspected it would be like its own.
My money was
story.
either on it was in Wakanda, which I think was my biggest guess, or the other one I thought going into it was going to be Heimdall.
That's what I thought was Heimdall.
So I mean, you can see all the souls. Like I thought that one really played well, but no, it wasn't either. Spoilers.
The thing with Red Skull, I thought was cool and was a surprise, but to me was also very much just serving the fans as far as bringing that character back, because his purpose there, where he was, what he knew, how did he know all that stuff, and
Soulstone told him.
Yeah, I don't know. Why would the
Soulstone's sentient, so
why would the Reality Stone or whichever stone it was take him to that
it's
place?
it's a comic
Don't
book.
try. Oh, okay. So that was a big surprise.
Yeah, when I saw like that whole them going there, where it was, and then Red Skull, I was like, oh, that was probably one of the biggest surprises to me.
Back to the knowing people are going to die and all that, and again in meta terms, knowing that Chris Evans and Downey Jr. are going to be done, it really kind of ticked me off that they kind of fake killed him a little bit, like the sword through the gut, and when Thanos bashed Cap at the end, I thought, oh, they just died, and then they didn't, and that kind of bothered me. Do you realize that all the original Avengers lived through that movie?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep. So that was the people who were at the end were what was like another big surprise, because I really thought Cap and Downey Jr. were going to go.
Right.
Because
but you need them in 4 to help fix it.
It's true. I guess when you think about it in those terms, some of those guys, it's maybe their last movie. So I think you switch it up so you have them as the saviors, and then you bring all the new people back. Because my money is on the end that Bucky takes up the Cap mantle at the end.
I think he probably will, because he's pretty boring otherwise.
But it was weird that they started calling White Wolf, because White Wolf's a character.
Yeah.
And
I think it's a nod. I
think it's a nod. Okay.
Yeah.
It was like that's what I felt like, but I was like, and then
people were trying to call Cap Nomad too, and that didn't stick either. The characters called him Cap in the movie, and he wasn't. He still had a star. It was all blacked out. But it wasn't the same. So there's certainly things. I don't know. It's up in the air sometimes whether or not something is going to stick or not.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, they always try to throw in so many Easter eggs and nods to other stuff. So I would assume that, but they just kept. It was weirder because they just kept calling him White. Like at the end of the Black Panther, and this one they kept calling him that. And that was the weirder part. They didn't. It was a long nod instead of just like a one-off like thing.
That's just a couple nitpicky things I had. Everything else, I love the movie. It was great. The humor is just the right amount. I guess Chris Pratt is getting a lot of grief because of Star-Lord's actions, and he's kind of an idiot.
But I mean, the established character in Marvel Universe is kind of that character.
He is.
So
he is. Although I mean, he loves Gamora, but I don't know. I mean, would he? Okay, 10 minutes before he was going to shoot her.
Yeah.
To save the universe, but then he ended up causing the thing that, because of his grief of her, that she died, causing the thing that made him lose. So it's a dichotomy.
Yeah, that was a little. That was another surprise. I thought not Chris Evans, but Chris Pratt was going to be a survivor in the end, because I mean it's just Iron Man and Gamora on that planet. Which Gamora being there ties in with the original Infinity line, so that's I think is. I don't know if that's a nod, huh?
Gamora's dead.
Not Gamora. Nebula. Sorry.
Right.
Nebula. But yeah, Nebula and Iron Man are there. But Nebula ties in with the original because she's the one that, which I don't know if that's what they're going to.
You never know.
I really don't see them going in the movie with her being the one that takes the gauntlet back at the end.
But the biggest takeaway for me from the whole entire movie was how much of a Thanos story it was, and how much character development they did with him before, because we've not really seen him.
Hey, they introduced that character in New York Times.
That's backstory. I don't know what you want.
Yeah, we found everything.
Yeah. But overall, great movie, and I've seen it a couple times. I'll probably see it at least one more time, and it's a year today.
I think
the third.
Yeah.
Third, okay. So we're just a little less than a year. The countdown begins. We've got, just real quickly then, we've got, outside this universe, we've got Deadpool.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we've got Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel comes out in March. The next one's Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Ant-Man
In
and the
October,
Wasp.
maybe.
Yep, and then
Captain Marvel.
And Spider-Man. I thought Spider-Man came out before.
Spider-Man
too.
can't come out yet.
Well, Spider-Man, they said it was it takes place before.
No,
Somebody said.
Spider-Man comes after Avengers 4.
Okay.
I promise.
All right.
I just read it today.
All right.
I try to check things, not like your God of War story.
Oh, yeah. Like Mandy Patinkin.
He's still alive.
He is still alive.
Yeah,
Mandy Patinkin check.
Still alive. Patinkin watch 2018. But that's about it. If you haven't seen the movie, go see it. If you haven't seen the movie, I don't know why you're watching this show.
I'd watch that movie again.
Yeah. We'll be back next week with our 200th episode. An amazing intro by Mike Dukes, I'm sure. Amazing. I don't want to build it up too much, but it's pretty much the best thing ever.
Oh. Hands down. Hands down.
Yeah.
We'll have some shots also, a First Friday, because you've already lived it.
Yeah, because you were there. You were there. I'm going down to
The pressure's on to get this episode up.
I'm trooping the Indians game tonight.
Of course, now I gotta keep putting on.
Spoilers! Spoilers!
He'll tell you he's going to do stuff like that, but he doesn't always do it.
You know what? Every time he's told me, he's done it.
That's baloney.
Yep. Star power, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. All right, that's it for this week. Next week, I don't know if Sean's going to be back or not. I'll be back. I'm back for my little break, my little sabbatical. Thank you so much.
I might show up, or I might show up.
Well,
Who
I don't
knows?
know.
Maybe we'll have an 8-person show.
There have been talks.
We'll have word on the street.
We can do that.
Hello.
We ought to. No, we shouldn't do that. Only bad things can happen, I think. Now that I think about it.
How?
Watch GeekStorm? What?
What?
Yeah.
Not lying.
That's true. Okay. We'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.